Hello everyone, welcome back to the Legend of Zelda Marathon, where pretty much we're gonna go ahead and play Link to the Past. I'm Sakura Diesel, and as always, I'm here with my good friend
Bonnie, also known as OT17. Hey folks, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back everybody, and pretty much welcome back to Mr. Theodore Roosevelt. Now, thank you for having me here. It's good to be back. I still don't understand what I'm really doing in this world, but it's good to be back nevertheless. Alright, so basically, last time that we left off in the first session and everything, we weren't able to make it to the Desert Palace as I thought and everything, but pretty much that's okay and such, because in this session and everything, my goal for this session at the very least is that like I want to complete like 2 dungeons, the pretty much Desert Palace as well as like the Tower of Hara and everything. And depending on like how much time we have left and such, if I'm able to get the Master Sword as well too for this session, cool. If not, then pretty much I do plan on getting the Master Sword in the next session and everything. So, like I said, yeah, depending on how everything goes and such, we should be able to have like a very good time and everything. Cause so far, even though technically I have died once and everything, actually no, yeah, I have gotten at least 1 game over and such from the overworld and everything, which is fine and such. Cause like I said, even though I am getting slightly better at this game and everything, pretty much it's still gonna be like, you know, it's still gonna be obvious and everything. I'm gonna be, you know, getting game overs left and right and such with this game. So, anyway, alright, let's go ahead and stop the jibber jabbering and go here and continue on. Now, pretty much one nice thing about like Link to the Past and everything is that like once you save the game and everything, whenever you're ready to continue where you left off, at least in terms of this world that we're in right now, the game will give you 2 options on where do you want to start. Do you want to start from Teddy's house, aka Link's house, or do you want to start from the Sanctuary and everything? And originally I was going to start with the Sanctuary and such, but I'm going to go over to Theodore's house real quick. And yeah, alright. Because pretty much there was something else about the fish that I forgot to show off in the in last session and everything. So pretty much I'm gonna head on over back to the water real quick, and I'm gonna try to show off this next part as best as I can and such, without hopefully like pretty much like losing too many lives in the process, but no promises. Yep. I believe I just gotta go over here. And here we go. Alright, so there was one thing about the fish that I forgot to show off in the last part and such. And I'll just make sure I got my powder ready for this. Whoop. I know. There we go. And open this up. Come on, Teddy, we're gonna open up the Panama Canal again. Hot darn. There you go. There you go, everybody. Now you should be able to transport your goods much more faster now. Alright, so there is one thing you can actually do with this fish. If you're able to grab it and such. I'm trying to remember. How was I able to grab it? I think I just press A or something. Like, okay, there you go. Yeah. Alright, you press A. Now, what I need to try to do as best I can is that, like, I need to try not to get hit at all with these enemies and such. Because if I get hit and such, then the fish is going to start flopping around. I'm going to have to, like, try my best to pick it back up and everything. And if I don't pick it up back in time and everything, then pretty much I'm going to have to, like, pull that lever all over again and get this fish and such. So, basically, this is just going to be, like, a little simple game of, like, you know, trying my very darndest and everything, not to make myself stand out or seem too obvious to any of these guards and everything right here. And one thing that does suck about this is that, like, I can't really use my sword, because, yeah, if I want to use my sword, I'm gonna have to, like, you know, pretty much, like, toss this fish and such if I want to try to use the sword. I don't think... Yeah, I can't use my Pegasus boots either, so... Alright, yeah, so pretty much I can't use my Pegasus boots and I can't use my sword. So, like I said, I just gotta try my best not to get hit, or at least not to get seen by too many of the enemies. Okay, I'm gonna say... Alright, let me... hold on. Alright, I'm gonna try to grab it. Alright. Wait! Ah, the fish... Oh, no, the fish is still there, but I think I might, Is it gone? It's gone. Alright, hold on, let me try that again, and just in case I'm gonna get this out. Now, as far as I know and such, you cannot actually grab the fish with the bug catching net. You literally do have to, like, you know, grab onto it with your hands and such. So I'm gonna give it a couple more tries. Let's say I'll give it about, like, 2 to 3, at least 2 more tries and such. Thank God for the Pegasus boots. Okay, down here. Alright, let's try again. Ah, dang, alright, now stay open next time. Okay, let's try again. Get a fish. This is how I caught my fish back in my time. I just literally pick up the fish over my head and carry it all the way on over to the White House. You gotta do it with one fish at a time. It was so tedious to do, but it was worth it. Yeah, I had a feeling. It's not worth it. Not worth it. Get away. Get away. That's where I messed up last time. Get away from me. You two, get away. Oh, you get away. Get away. God dang. Alright, here we are. We're back in the town. We're safe now. Okay, so now all we gotta do is just climb some stairs. Actually, just perfect too, because I also want to go. I also wanted to get back to the village as well too, to show off some more neat stuff as well. So, alright, so once you're in the village, all you need to do is make it on over to where the merchant is at, which is right over there. And like, hey, they say eating fish make you smart. You have to give me this fish for this stuff, okay? Done. And if you do that, then pretty much like, yeah, he'll give you some stuff ranging from rupees to more arrows, more bombs, so pretty much there's one way you can actually go ahead and get some stuff for free if you don't feel like, you know, spending any rubies for whatever reason. And another thing I don't think I showed off is if you pull this Mario painting, you get some rubies. Ah, that's strange. Oh well. Off we go. God damn, it kind of sounds like there's a dog in there dying. Alright. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna... Alright, there we go. We caught up to him. First try. Woo! Okay. Do you want to beat this guy, Bonnie?
I'll do the voice.
Alright.
I can't believe you caught me. With your speed, it must have been easy to kidnap Zelda. You don't look like such a bad guy, though. Anyway, because you have such quick feet, it might be a good idea to run and bash into many things. For example, trees in this village have many useful things hanging in their branches. We'll just have to try, okay?
Alright, sure. Yep, okay, yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Just run into the trees and something will drop, sure. Actually, yeah, this guy is actually right. So, alright, so if you see this tree right here, if you use the Pegasus boots, you get a little blue rupee for your trouble. Let's see, I think this is the one with the hedge guy. Yeah. Alright. I want to see if I could try to find that house that just has some pots. I think it might be on the other side somewhere. If I can't find it, that's okay. Then we'll just go ahead and move along with the story and such. Was that, actually, now I remember. I think it was actually in here. Should be... Nah, I think it's just a pot with... Oh, actually, there's one chicken. Will this work? We're trying. No. Okay. Alright, okay, it has to be a certain house. And actually, you know, as long as I'm here, let's go ahead and bomb some stuff. And over here, and to this chest, you get some more arrows. And pretty much, yeah, that guy is back and such, but we already pretty much we already caught up to him, so I'm not worrying about him anymore. Alright, this is it. Get this ready. There we go. It's a girl! Oh, what? You turned me into a human. I can even speak! I know, I'm a little surprised about this. Look, what witchcraft is this? Ah, it must be you who is always teasing my friends. The weathercock is always watching you harass them. Well, this human shape is uncomfortable for me. I want to be a chicken again. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Yeah, pretty much like yeah, alright, so pretty much if you remember last time in the last session, we're pretty much like yeah, where pretty much I just like, you know, harassed a bunch of chickens until like, you know, I pretty much got to a point where, like, well, the other chickens just pretty much was just like, hey, leave that chicken alone. Yeah, basically just that character reminding you, like, you know, hey, you know, don't abuse chickens. If you abuse chickens, we'll abuse you back. Alright, so pretty much if you remember in the last session and everything, there was an old guy right by the cave and such that basically mentioned that, like, there is a way to actually get into the Desert Palace. He said we needed some kind of book that's in this library right here. So if you go inside this library, there's a book right there in question. And you might be wondering, how do we get it down? Well, remember what that guy said about using these Pegasus boots to start bashing? There you are. Now we got the Book of Menorah. You can use it to read ancient language of the Hylia. So pretty much like, yeah, this book is definitely going to be coming handy from here on out. Alright, so before we actually go ahead and use this book to get to the next palace, I almost forgot, there is actually one extra heart container we can get in here. So we'll go over ahead and we'll go over to that place right now and make sure we can get it. It's gonna be right around this path right here. Oops. On button. Be somewhere over here, I believe. I have to go. Nope, there it is. Alright. So now that we also have the Pegasus boots, secret passage. And in here, we get 7 out of the 24 heart pieces, so just one more to go before we get our second heart container in the overworld. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go right ahead and pretty much make our way over to the Desert Palace. And you know, as long as I'm here, hold on a second, I almost forgot to pray. If we're gonna make it through the Desert Palace, we need to make sure we have the strength on our side. You defeat the wizard. The soldiers may regain their sanctity. Go, seek the pendants. I will. Alright, so off we go. Out of my way, losers. Okay. Now, leave down here. Okay. Over here, and I'm gonna go a little down. And before we do that, let's go ahead and heal ourselves a bit. Let me also check my... Alright, so I got a fairy, so we're still good. Alright. You know, maybe I can actually get used to this. Very good, birds! Wow, what the heck happened to me there? This world is very strange.
Probably nothing.
It's probably nothing, like, you know, pretty much people, pretty much like, you know, people experience voice changes all the time. Nothing to worry yourself about. If you say so. Stupid bird.
Stupid bird.
Stupid bird, said Eustace. Yep. Alright, I was a little too late for that one. That's alright. Alright, because over here, we'll be making our way back to the forest again. And yeah, pretty much it's like, yeah. Pretty much I don't think I need to tell you, is that like, yeah, make sure you don't hit cactuses.
Because they heard like hell, of course.
Yeah. And as I also say as well too, don't touch those mines. Alright, so pretty much like, yeah, if you guys have noticed and everything, we're about ready to reach our maximum amount of rupees and such that we can carry. But anyway, alright. So if you guys remember, we were trying to read this before, but we can't read it. So, alright. Time to do some knowledge. Let's see here. To open the way forward, make your wish here, and it will all be granted. Okay. Now this is me making a wish. This is totally me not getting on my knees and pray, but alright, let's see here. God, I only wish from the bottom of my heart that you please give me a bull moose. Did it work? Alright! Hot dog, I'm gonna get that bull moose now. So heading up here. And here we are, the Desert Palace, and look who's back! It's the Levers!
Of course.
Yep. So pretty much just like last time, like, yeah, as soon as the Levers, like, get ready to, like, pop up from the ground, they will start attacking you and everything, but thankfully they're not all too bad in this game. But this enemy, yeah, if you let this enemy see you, he's gonna start shooting lasers at you. So pretty much think of this enemy like that eyeball from Super Mario 64, but way more powerful.
Like Mr. I, pretty much.
It's pretty much like it's like Mr. I and such. So pretty much like picture him as like, you know, a much more harder version of Mr. I, and probably even worse, because like at least with Mr. I you can kill them. However, with those little like eyeball statues, you cannot kill them actually. So the only thing you could really do is just avoid them like the plague.
Let's say fuck it and run.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright. So right here, there's nothing really all that much to see and such, but pretty much like, if you want to either try your best to either get some extra hearts, or at the very least, like, pretty much like, get yourself either extra hearts or some rupees and such, there you go. And the only way that, like, the only way you can actually get yourself back out is if you defeat all the enemies in here, including this little sand dude worm right here. And there we go. Now, this dungeon's actually fairly short in terms of, like, pretty much the layout of this whole dungeon. Yep. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Alright, let me get out my boat for this. There we go. There we go. Alright, so all you gotta do for this one, press the switch. And there's our map. So if we take a little quick look, here it is. This is all the dungeon has to offer. We're in the basement floor. It's got a first floor and a second floor. However, this dungeon actually does have a little interesting gimmick that pretty much I will show off real soon. So let's go back over here real quick. And actually, before I do that, I do actually want to get a key and such in here. So let's go get the key first. That's the other side. Alright, here's our key right here. And like I said, yeah, with that guy, like I said, if he sees you, he's gonna start, you know, shooting his lasers at you. So if you can, try to make sure he does not see you for the life of it. Theodore, this is I, Sasha Shalel. You must never fail to find all the treasure in each dungeon. Well, don't worry. According to what this guy is saying, he's gonna find all the treasures in every single dungeon. Darn right I am. Alright, so let's go ahead and at least open this up first. And yeah, I got another one of these guys. So like I said, just make sure, just make sure he doesn't see you. Here, we got the compass. Alright, let's at least try to go into the... Yeah, let's try to go to the door first. And in terms of the boss, the boss is actually going to be located up the second floor, right here. Yeah. That well. And over here, we actually finally get the big key. Now just wait until you find out what this dungeon item is going to be. I don't think Teddy's gonna have any sort of idea of what the hell this dungeon item means and such. But for pretty much anyone that even those that have not grew up in the 80s or 90s and everything, as long as you're a big fan of the AVGN or any other those pretty much a video game enthusiasts out there. Some of you might even have the same reaction I had when I found out what this dungeon item is called the first time I played. The first time I played A Link to the Past. And pretty much as you can see right here, yes, the main gimmick of this dungeon and everything is that there are two rooms and everything to where there's actually multiple entrances and exits throughout the dungeon. So pretty much depending on which exit you take and everything, you'll be transported out of the dungeon and such. And this is actually necessary. This is something you actually need to do in order to beat the dungeon. But before we do that, we need to make sure that, at the very least, we have the dungeon item. So let's go ahead and grab it right now. Good. Alright. Okay. Pegasus Boost, don't fail me now.
Sorry I haven't been speaking much. I'm just watching.
Nah, it's okay and everything, cause yeah, like I said, pretty much like I said and everything. Barney's never seen much of gameplay footage, or at the very least, he's never seen the whole experience of Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past and such. So pretty much it's understandable and such. But don't worry, my man. And alright, so pretty much all we gotta do here is just try to find the switch. And here we are. That was actually pretty easy. Yeah, screw it hard. Alright, Bonnie. Alright, Bonnie, TR, are you ready to see what this dungeon item is? Right here, in this big chest. I guess.
Yes.
Alright, here we are. The dungeon item
Power glove.
Wait, what? The power glove?
A power glove?
I'm confused. Yeah, I'm confused. Why is this called the power glove? Oh, Teddy, don't worry and everything. All I gotta say is that, like, thank God you did not live to see the 80s, my man. Yeah, so pretty much that was actually my reaction as well too. Like, as soon as I got like the dungeon item and right I was getting ready to read it and everything, like pretty much I was just like, wow, did they literally just call this the power glove and everything? Like, yeah, honestly, this is one of those things where like I'm really curious to know like what was this called like originally in Japanese and everything. Like, was this also like called like the Japanese name of power glove? A Japanese name of power glove, or pretty much what's it called, something else, and pretty much like Nintendo of America decided to be like, you know what, let's just make it super funny and just call this the power glove, because it actually kind of does look like a glove and such. But yeah, pretty much as I say right here in the text, thankfully this power glove is not so bad, because thanks to this power glove and everything, we can actually use it to like pretty much pick up some of the stones we were unable to pick up before. And pretty much, I'll be happy to show you a little demonstration. Alright, so we go right over here. And if you guys are, pretty much if you guys are feeling a little bit like, if you guys are running out a bit of health and everything, I believe it's this one right here, yes. So pretty much if you want, you go in here, you got yourself a fairy fountain, so pretty much if you're running a little bit low on health, there you go get some fairies. But remember what I said, and that like, yeah, we actually do need to go outside into the dungeon. Well, this is the path in which you need to go outside. Before we continue on with the dungeon though, yeah, we got a little bit of a vulture. Now let's try not to like fall off the edge if you can, because if you fall off the edge, then pretty much we have to read that ancient text all over again. But here we are, another heart piece and another piece of the heart container.